you want to be focused, but you also want to be able to go in some different directions. Because I look at where I thought I was going to be in college. I thought I was going to be an illustration major, and I was mostly going to do portraiture. And I realized that wasn't quite my thing, and accepting my limitations became a very powerful thing for me, because it allowed me to start focusing on the things that I could actually do. And I realized I was even more passionate about those things. And so, yeah, I think you just keep an open mind. And the other thing, I think you're going to have setbacks. We'll have setbacks. Everybody does. I kind of like to look at things as, is this really a tragedy? Is this tragic, or is this just kind of a good story? For an example, I went to a job interview, and I was told, hey, being an artist is more than growing a damn ponytail. and at the time, I was pretty upset about that. I'm like,
did you have a ponytail at the time?
I did have a ponytail at the time, and I was harshly judged for it. This guy was a pretty buttoned up dude, and he wasn't having it. And so I thought, it really kind of knocked me down a few notches. But then I'm like, you know what? I don't love that kind of stuff. Just, I have a wall of things, of comments that were made like that I just think are hilarious now.
I mean, you got to let it roll off your shoulder. You just
and we talked about that on some previous shows. Actually, the last show with DJ Faze, we talked a little bit about being able to take critique and how important it is to let somebody, give you their version of what you've produced, or the way you present yourself.
Sometimes they're not it's not coming across as critique. They're just full on saying, screw you.
Yeah. And that for sure happens, but you've got to be able to sort of hear what other people are saying and then do with it what needs done.
And then analyze it and figure it out for yourself.
Chris immediately cut off his ponytail and doubled down on study.
That's right.
Like, no,
I did.
Became, a fine illustrator or whatever they were hiring for. But I think, again, that's good advice, though, being able to sort of take that advice and let it roll off if it needs to roll off, or improve if it needs to improve. Because I think a lot of times people hear critique and they think that, oh, well, this guy's just being a dick or whatever. They're not actually trying to make me better.
Well, I get it all the time with drunk people, like, oh, this song sucks, da, da, da. And then I sit back and think, like, yeah, it does. And it's like you got to have to kind of like pick and choose your battles and figure out what you want to represent and what you want to get out of it,
So, that's the thing. I mean, drunk people are like kids that way, right?
Well, they're no filter.
Yeah, no filter. They see it as they see it, and then they're happy to tell you about it.
Yep.
And so,
I love what I had a design professor first week said something kind of similar to that, where he said, you're going to go through this education, you're going to hear from me, you're going to hear from students, you're going to have a million critiques. And he said, I want you to carry around 2 markers. And he's like, red marker, black marker. And he said, the stuff that you feel are really, really going to be advantageous to you, that's going to help you, he goes, you underline that stuff in your mind or wherever with that red marker. And the stuff that you get that isn't, it just doesn't ring to you, you just take that black marker and you cross it off. He says, be open to things, but he's like, that's kind of how it works, because ultimately you got to find your own way. And there's, but along the way, take the help that's there.
This is eggs. This is eggs. This is eggs.
Get all the eggs.